So for this guided tour, I'm going to start at the very beginning, my Google Docs home area. Inside our EDUU 515 folder, there is another folder called Portfolios, and inside that is where I have my sample for you guys. Please, this is build mode. Do not view it in build mode. Yuck. View it, start presentation. So you always want to start with a clean, professional, this is who owns this, what is it? It's an educator's professional portfolio. I strongly recommend, you don't have to, but I recommend including a brief introduction video so we can hear your voice, which will help us understand the whole human being behind all of these great artifacts and thoughts. You don't have to get crazy with it, and I highly recommend that you post it on YouTube, and then you can just simply embed it. I can show you how to do that later. It's very easy. And in your video, you have the opportunity to really set the tone. Why did you make this portfolio? Kind of foreshadowing what is your philosophy, what are all the different components you're going to find, why did you make this portfolio? Tell us a little bit about yourself, don't get crazy. Yes, this picture of my boys is in there, but I don't really go into them. I just mentioned that, well, you can go see the video, look at the sample, and you'll see it yourself. So then we get to the contents page. Please have a contents page. You do not have to organize it this way. It just seemed logical to me. But all the different components are in here. Now notice I don't have blog listed, but you will find it in here. So you have the opportunity to create a format and a structure that is logical and professional and represents you. So again, one thing I posted in the page is that it bothers me that, as in PowerPoint, I can't link to the various slides. You can't click directly on relevant research and go there. But there's so many, which you can in PowerPoint, and if I did this as a series of interrelated web pages, you could do that. But because this is such a solid, professional, clean interface, I decided to go with this. And this is why I recommend this. So my educational philosophy, I added my professional blog here under educational philosophy because, as I say, I believe it's such an authentic artifact. I didn't feel the need to give it its own independent web page or slide. That's your call. This is just my thinking. So if you click on this, it'll take you to my blog. Now, one other thing that is kind of annoying, but I'm still going with it, is normally if you're in PowerPoint and you click on a hot link, it'll pop up in front. With Google Docs, it pops up behind, which, you may want to mention that on the first page. I'm sticking this in the middle of the original file. After viewing the first movie that I made, the one you've been watching, I thought a little bit about it and realized, why don't I mention that whole part about the hot links appearing behind? So on my contents page, I added this little note. All hot links appear in a window behind this presentation. Thus, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so what does that mean to the person reading it? Oh, okay, so let's see. If I grab the corner and I pull this in, and here's what's great. Look, it will acclimate itself to the size of the window so they can still see it. But then when they click on a hot link, boom, they can see that just as easily. So there's always a way. See, everything is a work in progress, and I'm okay with that. Don't panic about making everything perfect. One of the things I love about education is there's no such thing as true perfection. That's a concept. Don't give yourself paralysis because you're so afraid you won't do it perfectly. Just get in there and play with it. I recommend not posting your entire resume online. There have been instances where people have put up so much information that it's made it pretty easy for unscrupulous folk to use those as tools toward identity theft. You don't need to put everything up there. Addresses should not be posted. Let's be smart about this. Professional and smart. And again, let me go back. If they're interested, they can email me for more information. So I don't need to give everything right here, right now. Next page, relevant research. I would like you to plan on having 4 articles. Don't go crazy. I don't need 250, and 2 is not enough. So let's say 3 to 5, no more than 6. 3 to 6 would work. You want to pick things, they don't have to specifically be from class, but they need to be used by you or by someone else in the course, something that truly speaks to you, and then explain why you think these are great resources. Professional Standards for Teachers in Adult Education. This is the PDF. There are no official national standards for educators of adults. I did quite an extensive search, and I find these 6, which come out of Maryland, to be rock solid standards for us working to become the best educators of adults that we can. So what you'll do in the next set of slides is break each one out. You'll give the actual definition, which you can pull off the PDF at this website, the framework for professional teachers. Standard 1, give the definition. It's right there for you on the PDF. What is your understanding of it? This is crucial. You can't just post what it is and then throw an artifact up there. We need to know what you feel this standard actually represents. And then 1 to 2 artifacts per standard. No more than 2 artifacts. What is an artifact? An artifact is something that you have either used, created, somehow had an involvement with, something real, whether it's a rubric or a website or a picture of an experience or a paper you wrote, something you did that demonstrates your involvement, your experience with whatever these concepts are. You can click on this and you will see the rubric that I've created for another class, which I feel represents my understanding of this standard. Okay, you will do that for each of the 6 standards. Then we get into professional documents and accomplishments. This is all up to you, my friends. This is, I talk a little bit about my education, but the one thing that I am the most proud of, if you click on it, it'll take you to a link. It's important, again, that this portfolio represent you as a real-life, 3-dimensional human being, not just a bunch of pieces of paper you pull together. So including something, now don't show us your teaching credential if you already have one. Don't show us the documents. Anybody who wants to see them can email you directly. Again, don't share too much information. We don't want anybody's social security number posted up there. Noteworthy links, these are 2 sites we will use throughout the course, and this one is an actual online virtual community I've been involved forever. And this one is an amazing, it's run by a consortium that puts together these symposiums of just the most amazing thinkers, writers, artists, technology gurus. It's unbelievable. Resources that you feel represent your thinking, things that impress you. And I chose to close with the Chapman tree. You need to have it somewhere in there. Some people put it up front. Some people embed it in the middle. Whatever makes sense to you. All right? So you need to have it in there, and then make sure you explain what each one of the individual branches represents to you as a teacher of adult students. How, as a teacher, are you a moral educator? How are you a facilitator, a change agent, blah-bitty, blah-bitty, blah. And again, please, there should be multiple opportunities to email you. If a potential employer is going through this and in the middle they see something and they go, I have to talk to this person, they should very easily be able to find you. That is a walkthrough of the sample ePortfolio I created for this course.